Thank you, Congresswoman. You know, you can just feel the passion, you can feel the excitement, and as the Congresswoman said, having done this now for 6 years, I've never seen a time when all of you didn't come to this event and have fun. So I urge you, let's continue that trend. I want to talk a little bit about, I mentioned that we've got almost 1,000 people registered during the day to participate in this. And what's especially nice for me is there's a nice blend of people. Yes, we've got 38% of that number is really in students and from education, but 21% comes from industry, 36% comes from R&D and industry. So as I said to nephew recently, make sure all the students make sure that you have a LinkedIn account, and when you're meeting these people from industry, you continue to let the people know the good things that you're doing, so that when the time comes when you're going out into the workforce, that you've built a network. Uh, the future of manufacturing is not one facility with thousands of workers in it. The future of manufacturing is thousands of workers contributing to a single facility. And we need the creative people that are focused on automation, 3D printing, digital manufacturing technology. Uh, Michigan was once known as the arsenal of democracy. And later we turned that industrial might into building automobiles, and that's extremely important. And now we face another technology upheaval. You're going to hear in a little while from Chris Brewer, our chief engineer for the Ford autonomous vehicle program, a little bit more about the things that we're doing in that space. And I should say right now that we're thrilled that we've had Ford as a major sponsor of this event for a number of years. So, but we'll get back to Chris here in a minute. The state of Michigan has a huge opportunity to build on that heritage. The things that we know about vehicles and transportation are going to help us as we move in this technology into commercialization and into the new world. Since this event began, as the Congresswoman said, 6 years ago, a lot of people thought of robots as something from the movies or something in some far out laboratory. And now it's front and center. As Debbie mentioned, drone technology has really taken off. Now, it's interesting about the drone technology. They're doing all kinds of things right now. They're selling real estate by taking pictures, aerial photography. They're delivering beer to ice fishermen. But they're responding to emergencies like our friends at the Michigan State Police, and they're also defending our country's vital interests. But the Department of Defense will tell you that they kind of had a leap. They had a leap forward with this technology, because when they started, they had an open environment to practice and to experiment. That's a lot more difficult than that's a lot easier than taking some of the technology and putting it in where it's got to interface in a closed loop environment, where it's got to interface with people and all kinds of things that you don't expect. And then, as the Congresswoman mentioned, you've got regulations. I happen to be a new grandfather, and I'm amazed at the times that the Amazon truck hits my street. My wife is ordering baby clothes like they're going out of style. And I'm thinking, how neat would it be to have a drone deliver those things? So, and automakers are beginning to do the research, and they're testing a lot of this technology. And this afternoon, you'll see right here a U of M at one such a test facility. A very expensive infrastructure, but something that's vitally needed, and certainly one that's putting Michigan on the map. Cooperative robots are working side by side with workers and soldiers, and they're being augmented with robotic technology. Humans are being augmented with robotic technology. If you get an opportunity, go to Forbes or The Economist and see some recent articles about some NCMS projects where it's something called exoskeleton that we've been working on. It's an incredible technology that empowers the human brain. The only thing it's not right now is connected. And that leads me to the point with all of this cool stuff. 99% of all the things that could be connected aren't. So we've got a tremendous amount of ground to cover as we go forward. And at NCMS, we believe that innovation and we look at it, we look at robotics and automation, the connectivity of it all, of everything in the ecosystem, not just vehicles, but the whole transportation system, planes, trains, ships, all kinds of things that could be connected and participate in the development of the autonomous vehicles that are so exciting that we're talking about today. Um, you know, at NCMS, we believe that innovation most often lies at the intersection of talent, investment, and infrastructure. And infrastructure has become much more important, whether you're talking about smart factories, whether you're talking about airports, whether you're talking about big data and ports. That's all very expensive infrastructure. And we need to get as many people in as many industries contributing to the infrastructure that will support this. So that's very exciting. It's funny. I want to ask of the robotics teams that are here, how many of you have given? Just show me your hands. How many people have given names to their robots? Yeah. See, we're thank you. We're starting to get to the point where we're giving these robots humanistic qualities. We give them names. We you know, you think about, and this started back in there were accounts back in the 3rd century BC in ancient China where there was a description that said the humanoid that would mimic human operations. And we've given laws. Last year at this podium, you heard one of our state representatives talk about the 3 laws. Some of you may be familiar with them. A robot may not injure a human being through inaction or be allowed to a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given by humans. A robot must protect its own existence as long as it doesn't interfere with rules 1 and 2. Wow. You know, we're starting to see qualities and rights like we've never seen before. We've seen the names in the movies. There's C-3PO and Baxter and Megatron and Voltron and Sony's Aibo, where recently caused a stir when Sony said, well, we're not going to support parts for that anymore. Oops. It's like killing this robotic dog, and nobody wanted that to happen. So is it guaranteed health care for robots? Probably not. But is it guaranteed preventive maintenance? Probably it is. And by the way, that's another big industry that all of you can participate in. The servicing and the maintenance and making these robots last. One of the things we know about a connected world, in closing, is that this robotic technology is going to allow us to have fewer auto accidents. When everything is automated, the machines won't make the mistakes, or they'll make less. There will be a $15 trillion increase in global GDP, a $25,000 increase in the annual average wage, significant cost reductions due to energy. How do we get there? It starts with days like today. And Michigan has a very important role to play. And I'm so thrilled that you're here. Thank you for your continued participation. I look forward to meeting you throughout the day. And I think as the Congresswoman said, let's have some fun. This is really cool stuff.